I'm Heather DeLuca, and I have a very special guest in the studio with me here today. Actually, I have a team of people from AtlantiCare. I have Dr. Ann Yehl. I've got Lori Temple here as well, and I've got technician Alex, who actually just gave me my flu shot. This is something that I do for myself once every year on my birthday, and Dr. Yehl is here to tell us why it's really important to get yourself immunized now. Why is September such a good time to get yourself prepared for flu season?
So, Heather, that's a great question. And the answer to that question is really because it takes 2 weeks for our bodies to build immunities. So if you wait till the middle of the flu season, chances are you may have already been exposed to it.
So that makes you more susceptible to flu-like symptoms.
Exactly. You would actually acquire the illness. So you are right on target in terms of getting it now before you're exposed. So you now have 2 weeks for your body to make those antibodies. So if you do get exposed after those 2 weeks, you will be immunized.
And you know, with those 1 or 2 days, what it feels like, you get hit by a Mack truck. You want to give yourself the best chance to fight this off. What can you tell us about this upcoming flu season?
So we're going into this flu season pretty cautious and almost pessimistically, seeing what's going on in Australia. They have actually 2.5 times more flu than they normally have. So we're being very careful, and we're really encouraging people to be immunized. You know, vaccines have been a little bit down there, and flu has increased way more than anyone anticipated this year. There is a misconception with flu shots that they're 100% effective, and they're not. And some people say, well, if it's somewhere between, 50 and 70%, why bother? Mm-hmm. And if you've ever had the flu, you know the answer to that question. Right. Is, even at 50%, it's much better than getting the flu. When we see people with the flu, they often don't come into our office for a day or two because they feel so miserable. They're out of work for a week sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you're really feeling just so fatigued and crummy that you can miss out on work. Your kids are sick as well. You can infect your family. So it's really important that you get immunized. And certainly if you have any medical conditions, it's even more important.
Absolutely. So I have digestive disease. So I have ulcerative colitis, and that makes my immune system compromised, especially because I'm on a biologic.
Exactly.
So I make sure to get a quadrivalent shot. As you said, it's not 100%, but even if it cuts your symptoms down.
And the duration. You're exactly right on that as well. So it is really important for people like you who are immunocompromised, for pregnant patients, for elderly patients, and for children to get the flu vaccine. And you never know when you're going to come into contact with someone who is elderly or immunocompromised. So it's really important that everyone in your house gets the flu vaccine, so it's good prevention for everyone.
How about some other tips for keeping healthy, not passing germs? No one wants their holiday season ruined because you're sidelined by the flu.
Is right, prime time for that. So right now it's a little bit better as we're outside and our windows are still open and we're getting some fresh air. But once our windows are closed, it's really important that we're doing good hand washing. And that's just, as the cold season takes place and people start to get sick and sneeze and touch doorknobs and, not wash their hands properly, we really want to be careful that we're using good hand washing. And if we're outside, especially before we eat or after, we shake multiple people's hands like at parties and then we go to, put something in our mouth, that we're really good about either using some kind of sanitizer or washing our hands. So you want to be really careful. And of course, the general recommendations are rest, which people never want to hear because it's so hard for us to rest in today's society, but certainly getting enough sleep every night and exercising to keep our immune systems healthy and drinking lots of water, eating healthy.
What about the misconception that by getting a flu shot, you're actually getting inoculated and it gives you the flu? I can't tell you how many people I say, I don't want to get my flu shot because I feel like I get the flu. Is that all psychosomatic?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So the flu is an inactivated vaccine. 2 years ago, we did use a live vaccine that could produce a few symptoms, not quite flu symptoms, but we haven't used that this year or last year. So there's no chance of a live vaccine, but we're using the inactivated vaccine. So it can't replicate in the body. So you can't get the flu from the vaccine.
Can you tell us the difference between the standard flu shot and what I got, which was the quad? They call it the quad?
Yes. So there's 4 different types of flu. There's 2 type A flu this year and 2 type B.
Okay.
So the trivalent is 3 different types. It's 2 type A and then 1 type B. And the quadrivalent is all 4, 2 A's and 2 B's. And included in this, in both shots, is the H1N1 and the H3N2, which is the really predominant ones that we see.
Yeah.
Certainly A more than B. And the trivalent also includes B, which is the Brisbane.
Which is the one you were mentioning from Australia.
Right. A 4th one that's included in the quadrivalent. So really, it's an easy question. Do you want more protection or less protection? I think pretty much everyone at this point is going to say, please give me the quadrivalent.
It's always more. Again, we're headed into, a busy time of year. You want to be at your best for your family. Get your flu shot. Follow Dr. Yehl's tips for getting sleep, getting lots of water, being kind to your body, eating well. I'm part of the AtlantiCare family. I'm treated and cared for by by AtlantiCare doctors. Where can people get their flu shots?
We want them to go anywhere they can get them. Certainly, all of our AtlantiCare centers have them. Our urgent care, we have 13 urgent care centers in southern New Jersey, and they all have the flu vaccine. So you can come to any of our centers.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us,
Thanks
Heather.
for taking good care of me. This is Dr. Ann Yehl and her team. Thank you so much. I feel good. I feel good, and I feel prepared to fight off flu season. Come get me. I'm going to fight back with both hands.